Hello.
Good evening. We don't have much time, so I've been given some questions here that I'll pose to Professor Achebe. But I'll take the liberty to ask one that I've always wanted to ask. The question is, when you started writing this novel, Things Fall Apart, I believe you were in your 30s at that time. 20s.
Yeah, I was 28.
Did you share with your friends or your teachers the first drafts that you made of that work? And secondly, did you have any inclination after you had submitted the work to the publishers that this would become a classic book?
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I didn't share the draft with anybody. There was nobody to share drafts with. My teachers didn't believe that there was any chance for Africans, African children, African young men to aspire to be writers. I say that because when the book was published, the publisher gave this news to some of my teachers and in the university college, Ibadan, were mostly lecturers from British universities, of course, and they just laughed at the whole idea of Achebe write a novel, kind of. So this was told by my publisher, but I already knew because we'd had an event which the Department of English at the University College, Ibadan, they asked us students to compete if they wanted to write a short story. And I wrote one and sent in. The result, when it came out, was not good. But there was a saving grace. It didn't only say that there was no effort that was good enough to win a prize. It didn't only say that. It had a short note that said, that made a comment about my own effort. Said something like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't too bad, kind of thing. And so that it lacked form, by the way. It gave a reason. It lacked form. So I was delighted that I was mentioned in sort of dispatches. But form, what was this form thing? What was it? You see? So I said, well, ask her. So I stopped her one day and said, what, this form thing, can you tell me, what I need to do to get form into? And she was going to play tennis that day, so she said, oh yeah, we'll meet, I'll let you know. And so I asked her several times over I think the whole term. See? And she always found some reason not to have the meeting. And then suddenly, one day after months, she stopped me and said, you know, I looked at your story again, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, you know, what that said to me was, there's no point. Nobody here is going to tell you how you will write your story. It was made very clear to me. I was young, but it was very clear to me. You know, you better look for something else to do. And that's what I did. So I wasn't expecting that there was anybody I could show a draft to. In any case, I don't work that way. I keep my work secret, you know, till the very end. I am. You become quite authoritarian, you know, when you take on something like writing. You know, I knew that I was my own judge. I had to be the judge for what will leave my house. And to this day, that's the way I work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, I have another question here. Unfortunately, the people who have posed the questions have not written down their names, so I'll just ask the questions. Okay, this question says, what is the most profound effect that writing Things Fall Apart has had on your life?
Wow. Well, that's a very good question. And did it change my life? Yeah. Even in the process of writing Things Fall Apart actually changed my life. Because I had to invent the language of that story. It was not something that anybody was teaching anywhere. The conversation between Igbo and English. It had not, and so I had to make it up as I went along. And so in a way, that meant that when I came to write the second one, I already had this style, this form of writing, which was created by the novel itself. Because the novel was able to say to me, no, not that, that's not it, you see. And so I imagined this conversation between two equally powerful languages, not one language and some pidgin thing, which is possible, we could use that. But I decided this has got to be two languages in their full right, talking or attempting to talk to each other. And that was what I wanted to do. So there was no point going anywhere for this. So that was a great change in my whole career, I think, that decision.
Okay, here's another one. Are things really falling apart, or have they started coming back together in Africa?
Well, actually, it's always happening, both of them. Yeah, depends on where you look. And so in some ways, things have come together. In some ways, they are always falling apart.
Another question: Do you think that the power of the do you think that the power of the tribe can integrate or reconcile with what is called democracy?
I don't like the use of the word tribe. Some people don't know this, but if you check their dictionary, I don't know which one you use, whichever, if it's like the one I use, you will find inevitably that tribe carries a certain atmosphere with it. It's defined always in terms of the primitive. Yeah. So, and I wasn't interested in writing about the primitive. So that's the first thing. I don't like a native. And it's very important if you are going to talk in terms of two languages in conversation, you mustn't think of one as primitive and the other as something else. Whatever your ideology may be, if you want a conversation, not, there was a governor of what is somewhere in Central Africa, who was talking about the horse. There's a way, something about the native. It's like the horse or something, and needs firm handling, kind of language. And I commented somewhere that if that's how you are going to think of the Africans and the Europeans in this place, in terms of the Africans being the horses and the Europeans the rider, you won't get very, very far. Because anyway, let's leave that that aspect. Yeah, it's the convey to you, and this is difficult. My rather strict position in the matter of dialogue between equals, which is what is useful in the end. The sense that I'm talking to somebody like me. You may even be somebody better than me, but not so much better that you can afford to have something less than the perfect language for your discourse. Okay.
We would have loved to continue asking more questions, but we're running out of time because we have something else to